a wrecking ball that's being taken to government. And you may feel as though government needs to be reshaped. It needs to be leaned out a little bit. There's definitely a lot of bureaucracies. The idea somehow, though, you would overthrow the existing order of government to the point that people are clueless as to what's going to happen next. You have huge arms of the government that are frozen without leadership. There's clearly a loyalty test in place that will be applied to all employees, you know, dumping and flushing the FBI. And you look to see what's happening with Musk and the way he's going through government agencies in a completely not only unjustified, but unregulated way. I mean, who is this guy? He doesn't even have security clearance, and he's bringing in his minions, this handful of coders and tech bros. They're little tech bro juniors. They're teenagers and people in their early 20s, and they're downloading the personal information of Americans. Does
it feel like America just got hacked?
Well, it does feel as though there is a security breach, and because there has been. So what I wanted to, you know, I mentioned this to you yesterday, what this Department of Payments at the Treasury is. I don't know how many of you were here yesterday, but this Department of Payments at the Treasury is really just the mechanical end of the line cutting of checks. So I was watching a clip from Alex Jones, who said, and
yikes.
Elon got in there and he saw that they were just cutting all the checks, and nobody, I mean none of these people were ever rejected for their amounts that these checks are being cut. Imagine 100% of the checks are being cut there. Yeah, no kidding, dude. It's a check cutting part of the government. It's not the part of the government, as I mentioned to you yesterday, where they're deciding, should this organization and this program continue to be funded, or shouldn't they be given any money? It's not where they decide, should there be money allocated or should there not be money allocated. It's just the place where, after those decisions are made, the checks are cut. So it's completely misrepresenting the situation to suggest he went there and all they do is cut checks to everybody. Yeah, no kidding. That's what they do. Tony, you have the video of this. This is an esteemed, I think she's an economist, talking about just this thing that I mentioned to you. It jumped out at me as perhaps the best explanation for what's happening and how this infiltration by Elon Musk and his people really does speak to an infiltration at the highest levels. Go ahead, Tony, please.
So what is the Treasury payment system? This is effectively the piece of the federal government that cuts the checks, and they cut a lot of checks. This is $6 trillion a year, money that goes to individuals, Social Security payments for seniors, money that goes for organizations like Meals on Wheels to deliver lunches, foreign aid, as well as the funding that the government sets aside for key programs, paying its debts, making sure that we don't breach the debt ceiling and default on our obligations. So this is really unprecedented that Elon Musk has grabbed control of the keys of $6 trillion in payments infrastructure. There are a few reasons this could be happening. The first is, as your viewers know, last week, President Trump tried to end federal spending, just stop federal payments altogether. This was so outrageous and in violation of the Constitution that the courts intervened and said that he couldn't do that. What may be happening here is that Musk may be doing an end run around the courts, going straight to the source so that he can continue to stop those payments that the courts said needed to keep staying online. The second thing that may be happening here is this could just be a good old-fashioned cyber attack. Elon Musk could be interested in the Social Security numbers, the tax ID numbers of tens of millions of Americans. We know that he has partnered with Visa and is considering spinning out a payment system of his own. What we may have here is Elon Musk's attempt to get the private information for his own financial gain. The other thing that is incredibly worrying here is $6 trillion in spending is not just a lot of money. It's a macroeconomically significant amount of money. if Elon Musk starts tinkering with the code, the underlying technology that makes sure these payments go out seamlessly and effectively, he could inadvertently or on purpose bring the macroeconomy to a halt. I mean, this is an incredibly concerning seizure of government infrastructure, but it is also an economically significant moment in the country. So I couldn't agree with Waleed more. I mean, the word coup is the right word to be thinking about here, and Congress must intervene. I mean, if I was a senator, I think the most important thing to do is bring the Secretary of the Treasury to the Senate today to answer questions about what Musk has access to.
So there you go. I love that for the breakdown. Honestly, we gave you that breakdown yesterday, but I think that she said it better than I said it. And I remember, cracking the coup word with almost a preamble that explained, I'm hesitant to use the word coup, and I use it in the context of J6 and the fake elector scheme and all the rest, because that was really a well-developed coup attempt on the part of the last Trump administration, the one that went out of power. And now this second Trump administration appears to be engineering a coup, I'd suggest, on the part of Musk, who is a master, apparently, at infiltrating with Trump's understanding that he's going to be doing it. And in published reports that I've read, Trump essentially is okay, and he's on record sort of as saying, maybe not in so many words, but in words that approximate so many words, I don't mind Elon being the bad guy. It's a good cop, bad cop thing. Trump plays the media cycle while Musk gets in there and downloads all your information. It's a scary setup because of his power. Tammy Stansel, who just left that comment, this is a coup, no doubt. And the reason I like this and mention it is that if you look through the email, if you click through, you meet the people who Elon brought on board. They're actually pictures of them, okay? These are the people who are plugged into the Treasury Department's system of payments, and they're downloading all the information, Social Security information, federal ID information, etc. And if you look at them, they're former interns at SpaceX. There they are. It's kind of wild. And if you read about them, I mean, they are just what you might expect. Keep going down. That's Akash Baba. Here's this kid, Edward Korstein. He recently graduated from high school. And he's enrolled at Northeastern University. He spent 3 months at Neuralink, the brain-computer interface company that Musk has. That's it. He was so impressed, I guess, that Musk grabbed him. There's Luke. He's a former intern at SpaceX. Gavin, that's Gavin Kleiger. His LinkedIn lists him as a special advisor to the director of OPM, who is listed in internal reviews as a special advisor to the director for information technology. He went to Berkeley until 2020, and he worked at the AI company Databricks. So these guys are AI experts. There is Cole Killian.
They're little baby tech bros.
They are. And they're all, these are smart people. Make no mistake about it. But they're young people without clearance who are allowed into the Treasury with Elon Musk to download our personal information. And this information from Elon Musk, from a guy who has huge contracts with the government, right? He has SpaceX, he has Tesla, he has AI, huge AI contracts with the federal government, and he has immense penalties that he's dealing with right now that the government, the EPA, just for starters, it's about $700,000 for violating basic environmental aspects of his space launch and landing. He had a couple of rocket launches that went badly, like the rocket, they had to blow it up. And it affected flights around the East Coast, I believe it was. They had to redirect a ton of flights because of it. And as a result, Elon Musk and SpaceX were fined, okay? It was part of the same fine with the Environmental Protection Agency. He's also been fined because of animal cruelty associated with Neuralink. So when you add that all together, he's got a lot of issues with the federal government that are certainly trying to put a leash on Elon Musk. But that was the last federal government, okay? Now he's the federal government. He's come in, and as the henchman for Trump, he's able to handle all of these issues and even handle the very people who are fining him. For example, I mentioned the fine that he got from the FAA. What did he do? Musk came in and he pressured the head of the FAA to resign. Ultimately, the FAA head did resign. And you see he has no intention of respecting any kind of regulation whatsoever regarding the environment or any other kind of restriction, as he sees it, on his ability to operate. A very dangerous guy at a very high level in government that no one elected and has not received any kind of official security clearance.
Hi, it's Mark, and I thought that was great. Hit the notification bell, you'll know whenever there's a new video being dropped, and please subscribe to our channel to help us save the universe.